All right, welcome back to Cooking with a Veteran, or if this is your first time, welcome to Cooking with a Veteran. As always, I'm your host, Dave Rogers. Before we get into today's episode, as always, to all my brothers and sisters out there deployed overseas, wherever you are, know that we love you, we miss you, we're thinking about you. We hope you come home safe soon. And, there's a lot of veterans out there who are struggling, going through different things. I myself sometimes go through stuff. I want to send a shout out to all of you. Special shout out to my friend, Chuck. You know who you are. Thanks for always keeping in touch. Thanks for being a good supporter and brother. I appreciate it. And I hope that you get better soon. All right, so summer's upon us, and again, there's a lot of veterans I know who don't have a backyard, who live in an apartment, who can't afford a barbecue grill or a smoker or whatever. And I want to show them ways to barbecue and smoke in their own kitchen, so that they have the same taste that we have, the same food that we have, and they can enjoy some of the same meals that we do right at home. So today I'm going to show you how to make beer chicken right in your oven, okay? There's a lot of people I know who actually, I was surprised, didn't know anything about beer chicken. It's really kind of crazy. I thought it was like a popular thing. I guess not so much, but I'm going to show you how to make it here. As always, I got my Dutch oven. I got my Bell & Evans chicken. I picked this up at the Tennessee Meat Company. I'm glad they carry Bell & Evans. I like their chickens. Really good. I picked up some of this Heath Riles garlic butter rub. Again, I'm trying different rubs from different people, seeing what their rubs are like. I like to make my own rubs when I can. The only thing that I need beyond that, I got my Kerrygold. I picked up some of the garlic and herb butter. So I got my Kerrygold butter. I'm using Paulaner. Now, normally I would use Guinness, but I do like the Paulaner also, so I'm using that. And then I have my device. I just basically took a soda can. I cut out the top. Okay, and I have my device for making my brain fry, beer chicken. Yeah, having a brain fry for a moment there. All right, so let me bring you over here because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to smoke this up in my oven. And what I want to do is, so you don't want to put anything directly underneath the chicken. You want to kind of to sit there. And so I put this in first because I'm going to take some of my wood chips and I'm basically just going to spread them around the outside. And I'm using my Jack Daniel's wood chips here, okay? I'm going to take these. Once the chicken is on, it'll hold in place, okay? So I'm going to take these. I'm going to place these around, okay? Move that out of the way for a moment. Place these all the way around my ring here. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? Some will fall inside. That's all right. But I basically want to keep them on the outside because that's where I want the smoke and the heat to come from, is around the outside. Okay. All right. Let me put my can back in. Okay. So I got my wood chips here. Okay. And these are gonna. Oh, this thing is really not holding. You can't find the perfect can. All right, so I got my wood chips here around. Okay, so I'm going to create smoke coming from around it. I'm going to fill this with my beer. Okay, slow, steady pour. I don't want it to. All right, the weight is what holds it. That's why it wasn't holding, because the weight's what really holds it in place. Now, I only filled it up halfway so far because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of my stick of butter, okay, and I'm going to place half a stick of butter right inside of the can, okay. There we go. And I'm going to fill it some more with beer. All right, right, that's going to settle. Now that it's got the butter in there, it's going to settle a lot faster. Okay. They didn't have any small cans of beer, at least not the German beers. They only had the big cans, so that's why I'm using a soda can. But normally if they had a small can of beer, I would use that. And just so you know, I washed off the can because I don't want any dirt from the can. Okay. All right, perfect. So I got my beer in my can. I'm basically going to sit the chicken, to stretch it out some. There we go. Whew. Okay. So this is taller, obviously. I'm not going to be able to use my cover for this. So what I'm going to do is, before I stick in the oven, I'm going to place aluminum foil on top. Okay? Because that will keep that heat inside and keep it rotating around, and the beer is going to come out through the top here. I'm going to take the rest of my butter, because I want some nice buttery goodness here. Okay? I'm going to break some of that off. I'm going to stick a little bit inside there. Okay, and I have beer left over in my can, and what I'm going to in my bottle, and what I'm going to do with that is, when I check on the chicken, okay, stuff some down inside of the skin there. Okay, and that's going to all melt inside. Okay. So I have beer left over, and what I'm going to do is, when I check on my chicken, I want to make sure it's not drying out. I'll pour a little beer on top. Okay, so I have that in there, and I'm saving the gizzards. I have the gizzards here. I'm saving these. This is going to be used, I'm going to freeze that. That's going to be used to make some chicken broth. I have some chicken bones. All right, I'm going to put some more of my garlic herb. Rub on there. Okay. All right, and like I said, I'm going to wrap this in aluminum foil now. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to wrap it in aluminum foil. Where's my, oh, there it is. Okay. I'm going to start this way. And if I was doing this on my grill, I would just wrap the whole thing in aluminum foil. All right. Because I'm doing this in my oven, I'm still going to wrap it in aluminum foil. Okay. And on these sides here, I'm going to kind of catch them on the handles so that this way the aluminum foil stays down. Okay. I'm going to check on this every 30 minutes again. I'm going to, put some beer on it to make sure that it stays moist. But what's going to happen is, as it heats up, as the beer heats up, it's going to spurt out over the top, bringing that butter and that beer over the chicken. Hence, beer chicken, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick this in my oven now. Perfect. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Boom. Worked the first time this time. All right. So that's how you make beer chicken. Very simple, not hard to make. Okay, it does take some time to cook. You want to cook it until the inside of the chicken, when you poke it with the thermometer, is 145. Okay? So you'll keep checking on it every half an hour. Make sure it doesn't dry out. Pour some beer over it. And you get a nice smoked chicken right there in your oven. I hope you enjoyed joining me on this episode of Cooking with a Veteran. Okay? I'm going to come back later. I'm going to show you how the chicken looks, so I'm not going to say goodbye just yet. But hang in there. All my brothers and sisters out there, reach out if you need us. Until later, hoorah. All right, so we're back, part two. I wanted to show you how the chicken is coming along. Like I said, I had it wrapped. I checked on it. I put some beer on top of it. Let's look how it's doing. It's coming out beautifully. Let me switch you over here so you can see just how beautiful that's coming out. Okay? Absolutely gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to check the temperature, see where we are. Okay, I'm going to go into the meaty part. Let's see how we're doing here. Alright, so it's at 105 now. I still got a little bit to go. What I'm going to do, you see it's starting to dry up a little bit. I don't want it to do that. I'm going to pour some more beer down inside. Okay. That's going to create some nice sizzle down there. Alright. And now I'm going to leave it in the oven for another hour uncovered because I want the outside to brown nicely. Okay, the top has started browning, but I really want the outside to brown. And so to do that, I'm going to leave it in the oven uncovered for about an hour. Again, I'm going to check on it in about 30 minutes, see how it's doing. Okay, but you can see, look at that. That's just coming along beautifully. Nice, and I wish you could smell the fragrance. Nice, beautiful beer chicken. Okay. You got the wood chips, the Jack Daniel's wood chips. You got the beer, you got the butter. You got the garlic butter rub on there. Just a beautiful smell. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stick this back in the oven. I'm going to check on it in half an hour, see where it's at, see if I need to pour some more beer on it. And then let it cook until it's 145 on the inside. Okay, and the meat should start falling apart. You can let it cook longer. Okay, I want the meat to be nice and tender. And I want the meat to stay juicy. So let's go ahead and stick this back in. And I'll check back with you in an hour. Hoorah! Alright, we're back for the final part. You can kind of see it here, but I'm going to bring you to the other screen and look how beautiful that chicken is. Okay, nicely cooked. Again, I can leave this in a little longer if I want to. It's at a good temperature. Okay, beautifully cooked. Got some nice browning. If I want, I can leave it a little bit longer. But it looks amazing. So, again, this is a great way if you don't have a backyard, if you don't have a barbecue. I would do something like this in one of those egg kind of barbecues where I could put the charcoal around the edges. Or I would do it in a smoker, something else like that if I was doing this outside. But if you're doing this inside, it comes out really beautiful. Not hard to make at all. If you don't have one of those stands, you can use, if you have those wooden skewers, for making shish kebab or whatever, you can use those to kind of stand up your chicken and then just, as my cousin will say, defile the chicken with a can of beer and let it nice and cook until the chicken is completely cooked. So I left it for the last, hour off of, without the wrapping on it, just let it cook, let the beer continue to soak out. It looks great. If I want it a little more tender, it's pretty tender now. Checking it with the, it's really tender. The meat is nice and tender. Okay, so if I want it, more tender, I could do that. I could stick it back in the oven for another 30 minutes, let it cook a little bit more, and it'll get a little more char on the top. Okay, totally up to you. But that's how you make beer chicken in the oven. Hope you enjoyed joining me on this episode of Cooking with the Veteran. As always, to all my brothers and sisters out there deployed overseas, wherever you are, know that we love you, we miss you, we hope you come home soon. Please make sure you like, share, and follow. This episode was brought to you by Humana. Humana did a big sponsorship for the cooking program when I went up to the National Home. And I want to thank them for all their support in the cooking show up at the National Home. It was great to be up there with them and some of the MOC and VFW members and staff from the National Home cooking for the families. Special shout out to my brothers up there in the Military Order of the Cootie, Eric Bell, and all my other brothers. Thank you for your help and assistance with that. If there's something you want to see me cook on my show, go ahead and reach out to me and let me know. And until next time, hoorah!